So 485 graduate visa is one of the visas that most of the people anticipate to apply immediately after they complete their education, the university here in Australia. Anyway, everybody, my name is Lioness Lizzie and I'll be walking with you tonight. It is actually about 6 p.m. as I record this video. I'll be talking about the graduate visa, which is a temporary visa that allows you to live, work and study here in Australia. So we'll be talking about this visa, the requirements for you to get this visa, how much the cost you need to pay, and some of the things that you can do with visa and all that. So come with me as I flip back my camera and we can see around my suburb. So 485 graduate visa. So this is a temporary visa. It allows you to live here in Australia temporarily. That is why it is called the 485 temporary graduate visa. So there are two streams in under this visa. When you're applying, you really need to make sure that you select the right stream. So the first stream is the Post-Vocational Education Work stream. That is the first one. And then the second one is the Post-Higher Education Work stream. I hope you guys can now understand there are two different streams. So before you submit your application, you need to make sure you are clicking on the right streams. So we will start with the first one, the Post-Higher Education Work stream. This visa is for the international student who have recently graduated with a degree from an Australian institution. You need to have at least completed your bachelor's here in Australia and for you to apply this visa. So we have some other requirements. So the first requirement is for you to submit the application, you really need to have at least completed your studies here in Australia. So what does this visa allow you or let you to do? So one thing is that you can work in Australia when you're on this visa. You can bring your family with you. You can also study. Some people, they decide to do a course while on this visa. So this stream is for the applicant meeting the temporary graduate visa study requirement. And with this study requirement, you at least need to have a degree level qualification or higher. Okay, yeah. So the stay usually between 2 to 3 years depending on your qualification. So let's say you're living, where I live is in South Australia. Okay, this is a city, one of the regional city as per the migration regional requirement. With this South Australia, let me turn the camera so that you can understand me. If you're living here in South Australia, you can stay in regional city or live in the regional part of this South Australia. So regional part of this Australia will be like 3-4 hours away from here. But if you're living here, you're living in the greater regional, so which is closer to the city. I live 10 minutes to the city. So with this specific 485 visa, after applying it, you can afterward add an extension of it. So let's say you already used your 2 years. You can, for me, I would apply for another 1 year, okay, because that is how I qualify, or that is how much I qualify to get. For someone who is you need to live in the regional area, and then after the 2 years finishes, you get another 2 years. You'll apply and get another 2 years. If you're living here in greater city, you will need to apply and then you will get another 1 year. I hope you understand that. And you can imagine the mistake you can do. Let's say you ended up submitting as if you're living in the Sydney and then you're living in regional and then you need extension. You can imagine how much that might cost your extension, and you'll not be able to extend your visa after the 2 years period. So you really need to make sure that you are choosing the right stream. So the next stream of the 485 visa is Post-Vocational Education Work stream. So I'll be telling you more about this stream, and you need to really make sure before you submit your application you're choosing the right stream. Okay, that is my emphasis, because once you submit it you will not be able to change this. So and you can, this visa is for the international student who have recently graduated with qualifications that are relevant to specific occupations that meets Australian needs. So we have something called skill occupation list in this country. Okay, in this list they have identified all the occupations that Australia have higher demands, or maybe they're experiencing employment hardship to get people to fill those kind of duties. Okay, so you need your course or whatever you have studied need to be in this specific list. Okay, so that is the first thing. You will need to check if whatever your qualification is meets Australian needs. It lets you live and study in Australia temporarily. I think by now you know 485 is a temporary visa, as I said before. So you can work in Australia, you can bring your family with you. You must hold qualification relevant to your nominated occupation on the skill occupation list. You can stay up to 18 months, and the exemption is for the people from the Hong Kong and the British national overseas support holders who, with their passport, they can get up to 5 years. Okay, so the cost of applying is 1,945, and the processing time, again, as I said it, you all know what I've said. Anything to do with the processing time, to do with visa, it depends with your application as an individual. So yes, so I think that is the other part of this visa. With these visas, you need to know there is requirement, and so under 35 years, not to be 35, under 35 years. Once you clock 35 years, you will not be eligible to apply for this visa. And also you need to have held student visa in the last 6 months. But when it comes to extension, you can extend after the duration of your 2 years is finished. How cool is that? I think this was very informative, and let me know what else you want me to talk about. If you want me to talk about migration, tell me what is anything else that you want me to give you more information about. If you're looking forward to coming to Australia, remember I have no fees that help students to move here. As a student, we also offer some training as a caregiver. If you want to come here, and if you want to go to other country, if you want to work in your country as a caregiver, you can study with us. We also have some training. So if you want to do any sort of training, okay, let me put this here. If you want to do any sort of training from PTE and IELTS, you can as well come and train with us. We have online and we have face-to-face sort of trainings. I'll be coming with so many of other information in regarding to visas, and I hope you enjoy your time and make sure you use your 485 to do the right thing. Another thing that is most of the people, if you knew you didn't do the right course, something that can help you to get papers here in Australia. I have seen so many people, when they get into their 485, they start studying, they do something else, they go back to university, they are working full-time as they study. So these are some of the things that you can do more research and see is, and oh wow, seems like we have a convoy here. So this is something that you can do more research and apply. So I'm wishing you all the best. Make sure you're using your 485 very precisely. You know why? During your 485, this is the time you need to do your skill assessment, and I will do it, or I think I've already done another video with more information about your skill assessment. You need to apply for your permanent residency if you meet all the requirement. I'll be giving you another information in regards to the skill assessment and how you can submit your 485 or your permanent residency visa. Anyway, check on Exodus International Migration Agent and Training. That is the company that helps you or will help you to move here. I wish you all the best as you move forward.